Amen.
Okay. That's my mom. We're going to be muted.
Oh,
How are you? Good morning. Good to see you. Like, the AI today. Yeah, so I'm not happy. I think I can still. And why? Yeah. Or like. You know, I mean, other than just being a good But I mean, that would be like for you. My parents are. I loved it. is so weird. Because most of my friends. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's for like med sales, real estate, for like.
So in the past. No, he told us that when he was 6. No. No.
Because,
I can't hear anything. I can't hear anything. He's actually sitting over here. Because you're 57 feet. We didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hi, you all. Good morning. Small but mighty, but it is spring break. And we're going to be thankful for you that are here today.
Yeah.
So good morning.
The ones who don't have to travel to Disney with their kids, not us.
That's true. That's true. Guys, thank you for coming this morning. Somebody give me some good news. What's the good news out there?
What they said, they got a long time prospect, that we've been courting, who called last night and said, hey, I'm finally ready.
And that long-term prospect of Mix just texted me. That's even better.
Well, Kimberly, I was been told by one of the agencies, and when he is at home, that most of the thing we're saying is garbled. So we need to tell, actually reminded me that last week when the speaker that was on, that he could not hear us, you know, but we need to let Scott know, because guys, I mean, we went from one little microphone to how many now, Kimberly, 6? 6 microphones, so that garble means that there's some way in the way it was installed, so thanks for letting us know that, guys. We'll do that as soon as possible. Any other good news you want to show us? Anybody else got some great news? What's your great news?
Yeah, sure. I had a past client and, we had this project that we had planned out together, but the way that it ended up was that, it was most likely not gonna happen kind of thing. He called me up recently though, and we hammered it out, so it was a return for me, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
And yes, Brenda, yes.
I have a new listing of that. I'm going to sign the contract on Friday.
Yeah, we don't talk about that right now. We're gonna talk about what's going on in the market, but there's a lot of good stuff on the market right now. I'm hearing, at least I hope it is. Now, guys, you gotta realize, I see, ladies and gentlemen, I see things through rose colored glasses. Good morning. It's nice to see you. Anyway, if I see things that way, but that's just my personality. So, anyway, guys, we're gonna talk more about the market, you know, what it looks like and what the chances are right now. Because I think there's a chance right now, it shows a chance for some of our buyers to get great deals right now. We're gonna talk about that also. Okay, moving on. Tell us something good. Please, guys, even though we're small and mighty this morning, please, don't forget to tag Kiwanis public Facebook and Instagram page with all of your posts. Anything you can do, you can tag us. That means it gives us more people knowing about us out in the community. Please remember to do that. It's not complicated. Even I can do this. Scan me, I don't have to do it. Okay. Our alliance partners, come on up. There's an attorney in the house.
Sorry. Does it matter where I stand, that the microphones work better, Jim?
Nope, stand right here. It's gonna be good.
All right, cool. Good morning, everybody. You'll see up on the board, up on the screen here, Cheryl sent us this morning. How many of you have ever had a client who insisted or wanted to send the other side a letter to tell them how much they love this house, this listing? You've had that. How many of you were like, yes, let's do that?
No, not anymore.
No, not anymore. Okay, and it sounds like y'all might have taken a class or you might have heard some news on why this might be a bad idea. Anybody want to offer, why is it a bad idea? Well, the answer is, unfortunately,
Give me 30 more seconds.
all right,
Why is this about someone out there?
why could
I
this
can
be,
say discrimination
okay,
or something along those lines. It's fine.
yeah, discrimination was the answer. And you're right, it's unfortunate, well, the topic of the month for Cheryl's classes, in case you haven't seen it, is the Fair Housing Act and how that impacts you all. And last time I was here, someone reminded us that that is now a requirement that you all take continuing ed, once every 3 years, a fair housing section. So 3 hours of fair housing credit is what you need.
And why do you all think they're doing that right now?
Fair housing month.
Is it fair housing, and why else?
The current administration perhaps?
They're looking at it, not current, I think they're all looking at it, I think that's it also, guys, and it's sort of like, oh, everyone's getting fair treatment now, there's no problem anymore, and that's a lie. But there's still fair housing issues out there right now, the guys, that did not just go away overnight. So that's why, yeah.
And we've been, I mean, and Jim, thank you for pointing that out, because this has been, I mean, you read some case law, you read some, you know, it's blatant, it's blatant, and it's also just systemic, and it's
Yeah.
not cool.
Yeah.
It needs to change, and, you know, whether back in the, you know, olden days, and I mean, only in the 1950s, which is not that long ago, when you like literally steered or literally had neighborhoods you were not allowed to show. I mean, that's ridiculous. So we're still battling that. And sometimes it shows up in insidious ways, like a letter like this, which seems like it's, you know, seems very vanilla and non-confrontational, but we got some things. So I'm gonna read the letter, and if you hear some language that could be a hint, but let me just remind you too, the Fair Housing Act protects home buyers from discrimination as they get a mortgage, rent a home, buy a home, seek housing assistance, or participate in other housing related activities. The Fair Housing Act prevents discrimination based on race, color, sex, national origin, religion, disability, or familial status. So here we go. Ready? Here's our letter. Dear sellers, from the moment we walked through your door, we knew this was the one. We could immediately imagine our family gathering around the dining table for holidays. My parents, our 2 daughters, and our golden retriever. How are we doing so far? So far, okay. I mean, my parents, 2 daughters, could be a familial situation. Anyway, the layout of your home is perfect for our big, close-knit family, and we love seeing your own family photos. It really felt like our kind of people. We've been looking for a space that will allow our aging father to live with us comfortably. Aging father, y'all, aging father, not so good.
Don't dare mention that you have an aging father.
Yeah, we got age though. We can't, so what we're doing is we're opening our, okay, all right. Aging father, who lives with us comfortably, wide hallways, downstairs bathroom, quiet surroundings, feel perfect for his needs. He sometimes struggles with memory and movement, so the layout is a huge blessing. We were especially drawn to this neighborhood because of how peaceful, well-kept, and traditional it is, right? During our visit, we saw other families, here we go, who looked like us. What does that mean, y'all? What is that? All right, enjoying the nearby park, and we could just sense a welcoming small town energy that reminded us of where we grew up. It's the kind of place where neighbors know each other, kids ride bikes, and people say grace before dinner. I mean, I don't know about saying grace, but putting that on somebody else. The scent of jasmine in your garden reminded me of summers at my grandmother's house in the Philippines. As a young professional couple with strong family values, we've been searching for a community where our children will be surrounded by like-minded people and where we can attend local events and worship together. What is that? That's religion. All right. We also appreciate how close home is to the local private school. What is that? That's family status, maybe? We've already reached out to the admissions team and we're impressed by their values. and the strong moral foundation they provide. Thank you for spending your, or sharing your home with us for even a short time. We felt safe here. That's more than we can say. If anybody happened to see Cheryl's post about this recently, she is saying, as a listing agent, that pretty much NAR is telling you all, do not accept these letters. And why could that be? Especially in this letter, like, example. If you accept this letter, you read it, and then you decline the offer. What's the liability there? Can you think of the liability?
Oh, no. Because in itself, the buyer writing this letter is not a problem.
Correct.
I have no problem with anything in this letter, but for me to present it is a huge problem. Because my seller may underline everything in here
Yeah,
and go, I'm not selling my house to them,
okay.
right?
Your seller may say, I'm not selling my house to them. They might get turned off. And then what happens?
It's like, oh, you discriminated against me.
Right. And then the people who presented this letter now have cause for a fair housing claim. If you don't like me because I'm from the Philippines, you just rejected me on national origin or race. If you don't like me because I like to say grace, I might have a claim that you discriminate against me because of my religion. So the counsel for you as is important, particularly as the listing agent. Please don't accept these letters. Please don't read these letters.
Don't write.
And please refrain from writing them. Yeah, yeah, do not help your client write them. And if your client does write it, you have no knowledge, you know.
Like this weekend, I'm helping people who are moving from Vermont. And so their agent there told them, she called me, she said, oh, my agent here said, you know how you send those letters? I said, absolutely not.
Oh,
I
so
said,
another agent wanted you to write a letter.
wanted her to write a letter, send it to me so I could present. I said,
Oh.
absolutely not. I
Right.
said, that was way back when we're not allowed to have this discussion.
And quite frankly, I think it does a good job. It remains the professional. It keeps this professional. Because that's what
Yeah.
this is. It is professional. Like, you all are professionals. Let's keep that. So you want more of this? Of course you do. Register Thursday. Cheryl is teaching a full 3 hours. So get your 3-hour requirement out of the way. If you can't make it IRL here on Thursday, you can do a Zoom class that she's doing on Monday, the 14th. So you get back from spring break, you're still doing the laundry. You need to be, you can be doing the laundry and watching Cheryl on Zoom from 1 to 4. So register either Thursday or Monday.
If you,
You first.
yeah, if you do virtual, you still get credit.
You do,
Oh, pretty cool.
you do.
When did they kind of do away with these notes? I'm sure that a lot of people have always said no, but in 2020, when I bought my current house, we wrote one of these letters.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was that.
And it was only because our agent said, you should write one of these letters. We were like,
nobody in this room, right, said that.
no,
Yeah.
I don't even think he's.
There's that, I think they started getting more strict after. 20.
Reason, okay, that would change that. I mean, this is.
Fair housing is not what it says, it's how you make me feel.
Mhm.
Like, one of those words may have been her, but not me. It may have been her, but not him. So guys. just
Which makes it
remember-
even trickier.
Exactly what makes it, so your intent may not be to offend anybody, but your actions may show differently, so that, just realize that's why it makes very simple, guy, but anyway, great class. And thank you very much, so let's move on.
I want to say something.
Sure.
Because it is Fair Housing Month, and if we know the history of fair housing,
Fact.
it's not how you make me feel. It's things being done intentionally to block a certain set of people.
I agree with
Right,
that.
so it's not just how you make me feel.
But it's
the
both,
in-
it's both.
It's the intentionality of it while we even have fair housing to begin.
Well, thank you for reminding me about that, which is, I appreciate. Moving on. Thank you to our sponsors, All Public Home Protection, come on, Old Republic, you brought a great record.
We'll take 6 minutes.
Okay.
Timing yourself.
Okay, I just got out of the Old Republic University, my second year, advanced training, so I'm gonna run my new presentation on you. But yes, good morning, I'm Kristen Westbrook, Old Republic Home Protection. I'm gonna start off with a quick question for you. Who in here is willing to give away 56% of their referral business? Quick show of hands. Okay, yeah, you guys, all right, let's show hands, okay. I'm sorry, I had this with a prop in the thing. I want you to think about that. Visualize 56% of business. Visualize all of your clients that you worked with over your career. All the social posts. Yay, we closed. Okay. Now, I want you to put those clients into a box in your mind. Okay, have you done that? Are they in there? All right. Now, oh my God, no. Okay, this box represents 56% of your friends, your family, and your clients. Now I want you to picture them working with another agent. Do we want that? No. Well, let me elaborate on the 56%. This is the percentage of homeowners that don't have enough money saved for unexpected home repairs. And the box that you just visualized now holds, representing over half of your clients. If you could get ahead of this narrative, change that narrative, would you? Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, all right, yeah. All right, so do you realize what that means? Having that box of that 56%. That's over half of your commission going into that box. What are we in this business for? To help people?
Yeah.
Okay, today I'm going to talk to you about saving your clients money, increasing positive experiences, and ultimately building your client referral base with one of the most valuable tools in your realtor tool belt, and one that you may not have considered. One that can save you time, your clients' money, and you, your reputation. An Old Republic home warranty. But why am I standing in front of you this morning talking about your referral business? Well, let me first let you know that when you're working with me, you're working with a seasoned marketing professional with over 15 years of experience in the real estate community, serving you, the agents. Okay, I know what you do. I was married to one of you. I've said that in this meeting before. I was married to a realtor for 18 years. Okay. No, we're not married anymore. Yeah. But I know what you do, and I know the value of having a good team in place, okay, to build your business. But my professional experience has afforded me the opportunity. It's a very unique opportunity to understand and really hone in on your needs as a realtor. What this means for you is that working with me, you have a knowledgeable, well-trained partner that you can feel assured has your success in mind. Okay, done this. Okay, it was my paycheck too. I got that. So, but why work with Old Republic? Okay, when working with us, you're working with a company that has a strong background in reputation. We rate at 41% higher than our peer group. That means all those companies that are downstairs. Okay, 41% higher in customer service. 50 years in the business and a product with exceptional plan coverage. Did you know that in 2024, our paid claims were at 93%, equaling roughly $130 million paid out in 2024? Yeah, it's pretty high. We have some of the highest plan limits out there. One of the coverages that we boast most about is our HVAC coverage, huge for realtors, which presently sits at no dollar limit for covered components. Did you guys hear that? No dollar limit. Yeah. What that means for you is that you can rest assured that when you partner with us, you're partnering with a company that has your clients in mind. And for you, that means more referral business. Happy clients equal referrals. It's just the nature of the business we're in. So let's fast forward to June in your mind. Okay. You just closed, let's say, Charles Smith. Charles Smith is Uncle Charlie to his family and friends, and he's known for his barbecue parties, where he hosts tons of family and friends regularly. So naturally, when he moves into his new home that you just sold to him, okay, he has his family and friends over for a nice barbecue and food fun. Winding down the evening, he invites everyone in to watch some highlights of the baseball game. When suddenly he notices he has the AC set at 70, but it's pushing 80. And his guests are becoming uncomfortable. This is unexpected because everything was working fine when he closed. Okay. So Uncle Charlie quickly turns back into Charles Smith and gives you, his realtor, a call. Okay. This is where I challenge you to ask yourself, are you going to have an answer for him? Or are you going to avoid the call? I want you to realize that every single one of Uncle Charlie's friends and family are a witness to how you handle this scenario. Are you going to eliminate your referrals? Are you going to eliminate your repeat business? You guys, I'm talking to you in the real here. Okay. I've done this. I've been working with real estate professionals for a long time. Okay. Referral business is very important. Right. So now relate that scenario with the clients that I just had you put into the box in your mind. How many of them have had the experience of not having enough money to pay for a repair post the closing that you had with them? Okay. Are you giving away your business to another realtor by not having a good answer? Okay. When working with older public, you're not only going to ensure that you have an answer, but you're going to ensure that you have a good answer for them. Don't let Uncle Charlie or any of your past clients not have that solution. Put that money back into your pocket. The 56% of lost business that you're giving away. You guys, that's a real statistic. 56% of the clients that you close don't have money past the closing to fix something. 77% of your clients move into their home and have something fail within the first year. I'm talking to you about your business. Have that answer for that. It's a little intense, I know, but definitely want you to start writing Old Republic into your contracts. Our base plan starts at $475, and that's the answer that you have for them for 12 months should they call. You know, it's a good idea. So I know that presentation was intense, but I just wrote it last week and presented it to the president of our company, Fortune 500 company, you guys. All right. So I want you to know I'm here for you. I did not put plans out for you though. This here is downstairs. This is my plan. My information is down there. And I definitely want to work with you. Okay. I care very much about your business. You want to know why? Because your business is my business. You're not selling, I'm not selling. And I care very much about that. I want you to be good. I want you to be successful. So thank you so much for your time and enjoy the breakfast. I did bring chicken biscuits. Yes. Thanks for letting me run that presentation on you. It was my first one. Really good.
All right, guys, let us move on. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Dr. Side, from start to finish, class April 14th, 11 a.m. Be here, know about DocuSign. Social Committee Mastermind, Monday, April 14th, 3 p.m. in person only with AOC members Patty Jackson and Kim Cross. It's going to be great. Please come join them for that. Shred and Purge Day, guys. Now, this is one of these things where I'm always amazed that we don't have a waiting list for this, because this is an inexpensive way for you to touch your database. $125 if you're a new agent, $195 if you're a single agent, and $300 if your team, or $600 if your group guys. So guys, you need to do this because this is the right way you can invite your database out there, let them come get rid of all the junk that's in your house, spring cleaning. So guys, please sign up for this. It will sell, I'm sure. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna and Kim, go to the slide on this, the one, what's the first slide? What's the very first one? You know, go to the one that has the that has the, interest rates compared to sale. Did you do that one?
That reads that.
Yeah. You see, or did I not send it to you? Oh, it's the one on the left, up toward the top.
Don't think.
I can see it.
I don't think you can click on it from up there.
Maybe I didn't send you that one. But, that's the one.
No, that's cool, that's mine.
Good, well, off for one second, okay, guys? I've had some kind this morning, I'm gonna start with this morning because. Because, guys, I want to talk a minute about what's going on out there with interest rates. Our president has said that he is asking Jerome Powell to drop interest rates, it'll help our business. And the slide I had up for you that I didn't send to Kimberly evidently was one that shows the correlation between when interest rates are high, sales are lower, when interest rates are low, sales are higher. So guys, talk about what you're seeing out there and just what you're seeing in the market, because I've heard from some of you that actually your applications are up right now. So please take your time and talk about that a little bit.
Yeah,
That's it right there.
yeah, this is the, and actually there's not a few copies. Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is, as everybody knows, in the stock market and in the bond market right now, everything is incredibly volatile. Day to day, this shows it pretty well. The significant changes that we've experienced pretty much the past 4 days. I mean, going back a little bit before that, but really Friday, Monday, Tuesday have been pretty hectic. And I mean, there's a million variables that are contributing to that, so we can dive in super deep to that stuff. But suffice to say, it's been fairly, we're even with a negative pricing day the past 2.5 days, really, we're in a pretty good spot. We're still around the mid to high sixes, which is what it's been the previous few weeks. So not in a bad spot, but certainly volatile, and day to day has been a lot of change.
So how much of the population right now can qualify for a 6.5% rate?
How much
That's a right.
Yeah. I think most of them can, it's just how much of a pre-approval they're gonna need. So yeah, I mean, 6.5 is pretty solid, for sure.
One thing we're seeing, is the additional debt that people are carrying. That's a big deal. That's gonna affect affordability. Because, the interest rate itself, when you take that interest rate with the appreciation that we've seen in home prices, that's when we start seeing the rub. And then when you see, people carrying excessive consumer debt, their debt to income ratio. I have a client last week, who is, trying to buy, and she wanted to know what, about what she could buy. And we came back and said, your debt to income ratio is 85%. Now, remember, guys, debt to income ratio is the total of, come on up, Daniel, the total of their monthly obligations on the credit report, plus the housing report, as a percentage of their gross income.
Without the.
Before tax. If somebody has a salary of $80,000 a year, how much are they bringing home? 56, 57, something like that? We're not using the 56, 57 to qualify them, we're using the 80.
Okay.
But they're not bringing home, for most people, 20-25% of their income.
Yeah.
Maybe that may be a little high.
So if they've got debt then of 40 grand?
In that scenario, yeah,
Well,
that's the max.
monthly pay, monthly obligations.
Okay, monthly obligation.
Their monthly obligation,
Like
$400 car payment, $180 on student loans, 4 credit cards, all those sorts of things. And you start adding in, now we're adding in the price of homeowners insurance, which is dramatically different. I mean, our estimates on that, Danielle's like, what do you estimate for homeowners insurance?
It just
today?
keeps
It keeps climbing. HOA dues, they're higher than they used to be, right?
Yeah.
That's the insurance.
So, Jim, I want to hit the thing about the Fed chair. So guys, if you'll notice yesterday, that's a significant move in the market. 81 basis points, it's 81/100s, is a lot in one day. It moved the market, it moved rates about 1/4 point.
Okay.
So what we had seen right here, if you look at this, is called a Japanese candlestick chart. In case y'all know, it shows the range of a price on a given day. That's why if it was Like right here, you got very little change in this day. It's hovered in a small margin. Yesterday, you've got this, but if you look all through here, we were seeing rates improve from about, right at the end of March, rates were getting better and better. We're showing for probably about what, 3/8 maybe?
Yeah, they got pretty good.
About 3/8% better in interest rates. So we were starting to get down under 6.5, well under 6.5. And then yesterday, you lost it all. But if you look, the weekly average interest rate from April 3rd was 6.64. This is from Freddie Mae's week, Freddie Mac's, Freddie Mae. Let's combine.
They're not. They're not.
Yeah, that's right. 6.64% in April 3rd. January 6th, 6.91.
We're still net up.
Yeah, but it's only, it's not a whole lot of difference. And if you look across the top, the difference in monthly payment on a $700,000 loan with that difference is $180 a month. So that's not a massive amount of money. Now, if it had gone from 6.91 to 5.91, now you're seeing a big difference in people's monthly payments, their ability to qualify and stuff like that.
So if this year, let's assume that the president has called Jerome and said, Jerome, right thing, which he can't do. He cannot do
Which I
that.
hope he doesn't do.
He has no power to do that. But let's say he got Jerome positive, okay? How will that affect our market? Daniel, what do you think? How will that affect our market?
If
We
the,
got it down to 5.9%. How will that affect our market?
well, I think we would have some refinance opportunities. That's a loan officer. You know, I think we need to get on the phone and
That's right.
past clients. I think it would open up the doors for more people to purchase. Absolutely. Yeah. And we have seen 5.99. You know, I've had people with FHA that are doing, a lot of people with FHA right now, even in the 700s, their credit scores are pricing out better for FHA and going for that, for the lower interest rate. So.
So
So that's really-
did I just hear that if I want to buy a house tomorrow, that if, assuming I qualify, that if I can get an FHA at 5.9%, is that what y'all are going to say? Everybody knows
Well,
that.
today it's 6.2, but.
It's 6.2 though.
Yeah, that's a great rate.
So
Absolutely.
why don't more go to FHA? Why don't they do that?
They do.
Yeah.
They do. I mean, mortgage insurance, if you're not putting down 20%.
Yeah.
Well, the mortgage, if you're putting down less than 10%, the mortgage insurance on it is permanent.
Yeah.
It doesn't go away.
Okay, so
If you're putting down at least 10%, it goes away after 11 years. So the other problem is the upfront mortgage insurance premium. So
Yeah.
let's say that your loan amount is gonna be $700,000. Okay, I'm doing some quick math in here.
Yeah.
You're actually gonna be borrowing $710,500. No, it's more than that, actually. Because you've got a 1.75% upfront mortgage insurance premium that FHA charges that's added into your loan.
So it's called pay now, pay later.
Yeah, and I mean, the hard part about an FHA loan, for us, I'm gonna put somebody in an FHA loan if it really makes sense for me.
Right.
I'm not gonna do it if it's not the best thing to do, because if somebody's making a minimal down payment, and we're still doing 100% financing on some loans. Guys, that client is underwater from day one. They are underwater from day one.
Yeah.
If they had to sell that house within the next probably close to 3 years, they're still underwater, unless there's a good bit of appreciation. You add a 6% real estate commission on top of that, they can't sell it.
plus all the repairs they might need to do to sell.
Conceivably.
Well, I just had a client, agent was in this office. I closed him on Friday. And I saved him $250 a month on an FHA loan. And they're planning to sell they're moving here from out of state. And they have a high debt to income ratio, but that's because they're planning to pay their debt off when they sell their current home. So they purchase their primary and then, so anyways, it's just, you want to have a loan officer that's able to talk strategy with the borrowers and present them with all their options. They were really against the FHA at first. And they were afraid that they weren't gonna get under contract, but it ended up working out.
And that's a big thing right now is there's sort of a negative connotation around FHA, but when you have a loan officer that's gonna talk actual numbers and strategies with you and say, hey, I know that everybody in your family is talking about 5% down conventional, but just look at the numbers. And what is your plan down the road? And does this actually fit better for you this way or that way? And so, and actually it goes back to this same thing, which all of this volatility is essentially something that we cannot predict. We don't know what tomorrow is gonna be. We don't know what no, sorry, I planned on predicting it, actually. I've talked out of it. But it really boils down to if your loan officer, if you're checking in with your loan officer a lot, and if your loan officer is on top of it. I locked all my loans Friday morning.
I had one that I lost, they're closing in May, and I told him, I said, I think you should lock.
Yeah, and we
Rates
got
are
a lot.
looking really good, I don't know what tomorrow will bring.
Now, we
Yeah.
hope our competitors didn't.
Yeah.
No.
No, but I mean, in reality, I
They
mean, there are
locked
a
and
lot
then
of.
he started going up, and I'm thinking, it's like, that makes my day. I
It's-
don't know about you.
It's one of those things where there are people out there that.
Yeah.
The final question is, what is the chance this year that you see the rates going down, whatever you think is significant? We'll start with you, what do you think?
I will not weigh in.
Yeah,
What, we'll wait it all?
I mean, it's just 100%. There's no way to ever guess that.
So there could be a chance then.
Yeah.
Read, what do you think?
It's possible. I mean, it could happen. There, yesterday morning, one of the Fed chairs came out and expressed concern about inflation. Inflation is the enemy of bond yields. So that would keep, if that's true, that could keep rates from going down. The whole thing with the tariffs is so interesting to sit back and watch. I would encourage all of us, don't make assumptions about what this is. I mean, I can go from one extreme like, then the other going, no, wait a minute. Because there's some stuff happening right now. Europe's coming back and said, okay, we'll drop all our tariffs if you drop yours. Holy cow, that is a major deal. We can't even sell cars over there because of the tariffs right now. So I don't know how this is gonna all turn out, but I know what rates are today.
Yeah.
I don't know, Jim. I don't know.
And we monitor the rates, we get
This-
text
that's
message
this.
updates all day long, and we are closely monitoring them. No, that, seriously, yeah, we want the best for our clients, obviously. I think rates will go down. I honestly don't hear people complaining about rates, so. I haven't heard anyone say I'm not buying because of the rate,
well, you don't.
but I guess.
We get them to you, so by the
Right.
time we get them to you, we.
Yeah, if they're on the phone,
been
it's
accepted.
So Let's say one thing, which is over it was like October, November of 2022 that rates shot up. They had been trickling up for a while, but that's when they really hit, the 7.5 mark. Since then, essentially every economic forecast has been wrong.
Wrong.
And so, I mean, by and large, they've had a little bit of wins here and there, but by and large, they've been wrong. And so, just don't even worry about it.
So
Just do your
let me say one quick thing, Jim. What happened right here, and this is what you can watch. When the stock market starts getting hammered, people get scared, they pull their money out of the stock market and they invest in bonds. Mortgages are financed with 30-year bonds, Fannie Mae bonds. That's when you started seeing the yields increasing, is when the money was flowing into the bond market. What happened yesterday? Pulled out of it. The bond market, the stock market started recovering because there was that some of the tariff noise was going to be settled and the money was pulled back out of the bond market. And you had a double whammy with the mention of inflation at the same time. I do have.
You need more things too.
Yeah, we all get another one too.
I think that, yeah,
have the greatest boss in the world.
my pricing is the best out there. No, I do think rates will go, there'll be refinance opportunities in the next year or two.
And that's
I really do.
that's a big deal for the
Yeah.
economy.
Yeah, that helps affordability, when you can cash out and pay.
And I think,
Want to talk about the flowers?
Yeah, I gotta figure out who to give them to. So, my daughter, Mary Evelyn, has her business, Hawk Hill Flowers. She has 2 workshops coming up. So they're floral workshops. If any of you guys want to, be a part of that, there's one at Reformation in Canton. And the other one is at Fainting Goat Vineyards. So if you guys want to go, Fainting Goat Vineyards, fainting goat. You know how goats faint and they fall over the little goats? Fainting Goat Vineyards. You want to go, don't you? Don't you?
Just want to know what it is.
So, and these are all locally sourced. Most of these, actually, a lot of these came from ours. Some of them did. So now. Who, yes, sir.
Oh, I thought you were picking somebody to give it to.
You have not because you asked not, right?
That's a good move, Kim, we'll go back to the presentation. I will talk about that in a minute. All right, thank you, guys. Anyway, so I always ask the question, so how is the market right now? And if I answer that question right now, Brenda, how would you say the market is right now? What would you say? How's the market right now, Brenda? The real estate market? How would you describe it?
I think it depends on where you are,
Ooh, I agree with that. Okay,
what pocket you're in.
I agree with that. Shirley, I put you in the back of the room. How would you say the market is right now? Shirley, give it.
So I think there's been a lot of people sitting on the sidelines from last year wanting to see what administration, what it was doing with whichever side of the fence you're on. And I think like what they were saying, this is kind of the new normal for rates. So I think people are like, okay, if I'm gonna do some stuff more activity. Watch this.
All right, I agree with that. Because for some reason, they picked the market in 2019 to call it a normal market. Now, it's not a balanced market, it's a normal market, and it's normal is right now. So I want you to look at some of this stuff compared to this market of February to February of 2019. So in February of 2019, there were 12,635 listings. Now there's only 9,713 listings. So guys, do we still have room to have more listings come into the market?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we still do. So you also got clients that cannot find what they're buying, okay? Now, this is the one that tells about also, but during that 12,000 through 2019, there was 7,986 pendings at this point in February. Compared to this market, there's only 4,326 pending in February, okay?
This February 2024,
This is 25. Ooh, current market. How did I miss that, Kim? Did I pull up the wrong one? Thanks for catching that.
I mean, because I know even a year later, it's very different.
Guys, let's assume that this is 24. I mean, I thought it was 25. I wonder how I did that.
Yeah.
See, it says February 2025, see if it's top. So I wonder, anyway, so we're just gonna go with, they're comparing with 2024. See what the other slide said, okay, guys? And then what's this one say? Is it 2025? Oh, let's go this, okay, guys?
Yeah.
Let's compare the market to last year. Thank you for catching that. I like it. I like it. Hey, look, compare the markets to last year at this time, okay, guys? New listings at this time, actually in February, were 4591. Now there's 4630. All right, so it's up 0.8%. Is that significant?
Yeah.
Why is it significant?
It's trending up, so
Yeah, it's not going down.
Okay.
it's 39, yeah.
Does anybody remember? Was anybody here in the market like in 2007, 8, 9? Anybody?
Yes.
You remember how many listings we had back in then, Shelley Long? Remember how many there were?
I don't remember how many.
It's over 100,000.
200,000.
No, like close to 40,000 listings.
I thought the number didn't fit on the billboard anymore.
That was Metro Brokers.
In February.
How many listings they said they had? No, but guys, so guys, think about right now that new listings coming in were at 4,600, and back to during 2007, 8, 9, we had 40,000 listings.
Wow.
You could not give them away, guys. So we're nowhere close to that market right now. Number of active listings last year in February was 6,834. Now 9,700. Guys, that's up 42%. What does that tell you?
I think people are being more picky.
Yeah.
I think they're uncertain.
Yeah.
I think people are really, I had two out of contract drop this week from an agent that used to be in this office, $1 million purchase. And she said, I said, why did they terminate? She said, well, there was a little bit of issue with the roof, but the real issue was what's going on in the country, and they thought they needed to wait.
Especially $1 million.
Okay.
Well, everything's. a million.
Guys, our active listings are up, and that is a good thing, which gives us more choices.
What do you think? So, and what we're saying, it sounds like what we're saying is. Listings are sitting a little bit longer, is that what you're saying? So that is accumulating, right?
We can see that right now, as a matter of fact, okay? And guys, look at the number that have closed in 2024, number that closed this year, 2025. It's actually down. So what does it tell you when there's more listings and fewer selling? That people, what did you just now say?
Got a longer time on the market.
Longer time on the market. The longest time that the average time of market was, the longest back when I was going, let's say, 90 days.
Yeah.
That was normal. And you always get a nosebleed if your house is on the market more than a week, so that's changed, and that changed like that. But look at supply now, 2.4 months, it's up to 3.9 months. Is that significant?
Yeah. Yep.
You know, there's more seller, more supply and more seller, competition versus last year. That's good for our market. I love that. Supply month we talked about. Now look at the average sales price, guys. Tell me why this is significant. Median sales price was $440 last February. This year is $448. What does that tell you?
It gets back to what Reed was saying earlier. We've got inflation that we're dealing with. We've got, and also that sales price going up and this whole debt to income ratio thing kind of getting in our way.
But I want you to focus for a minute on 1.8. What's it tell you about it going up 1.8%?
Just, some words here. The appreciation rate is, not what we've been seeing for quite some time.
Yeah, got this. Some years back it was going up 8, 9, 10%.
So
And
that's,
it's only going up 1.8%. That means that it's because Gary Keller says sustainability is at about 4% per year. And I agree with that. The 1.8%, guys, it's really slowed that down, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Which is a really good thing, okay? And median days of the market, 42 last February, 57. Is that good?
yes and no.
Which means we don't have to rush over right now and get our client in the house, then they sell that night. Even though I talked to an agent this past weekend who had a house, I think in the 800s, and got 17 offers. 17 offers. So guys, that's still going out to go. Whoever said depends on the area is exactly, they're right about which that's the great stuff. Median sales price, 440 to 448. We talked about that. Anything on here that jumping out at you, can you even see is the question? Yes, ma'am.
The percent selling with seller concessions, I'm seeing most of, past 2 years, no, 2020, no concessions. Now, pretty much every closing has concessions, I feel like to me.
If that's a good thing for our market, for selling being paid, again, it is very good for us, because the seller is now willing to say, yeah, I will discount my house some, and yes, I will help the buyer with their closing costs. So guys, that's a good thing, particularly for the people that don't have a lot of that money up front to buy. That's good for the first time home buyer also, okay? I like that. Percentage sold above list price. Fewer of them, right?
Yeah.
It was 34.6%, it's now 28.5%, which means the market is slowing. Anything up there that's really good?
Price reduced,
Pardon me?
price reduced.
Price, thank you for pointing this out, okay, guys. The price reduced last year in February, we had about 42% of them got reduced. Now 50.2% are getting reduced. Okay, guys, what does that tell you about our ability to price houses? We're getting half of them wrong. What does it tell you?
Wrong agents and greedy sellers.
Wrong agent or greedy seller.
Yeah.
They're just unrealistic pricing.
Unreal
Price it right, it'll sell quickly and get more. Some price it wrong and just system.
All right, my question is, how many of you think you have the ability to price it right and the seller will not allow you to price it right? Is that happening? Is that happening to you at all? All right, tell us a bit more about that. Tell us what's happening in real life.
Well, this actually happened to me a few weeks ago. It was kind of unfortunate, but I went on a listing appointment and I was competing against another agent, and that agent went first. This house, it's a townhome in Sandy Springs. It really needs to be priced at like 400, maybe 410 to 15. And I went second, and the first agent, who didn't even use comps from the neighborhood, told the seller that the comps are at 450. So to come in second with comps that are accurate, I asked her, I said, where was the data that he presented with you? He can't just put a price on it. So it was a really hard conversation that I had to have with this seller, delivering this really hard news. But I told her ultimately, if you price it at 450, you're gonna have to reduce, and you're gonna end up lucky if you can even get the number I'm telling you about.
Yeah. And you'll look foolish.
Yeah, so I think too, unfortunately, bad agents are causing a lot of this.
Say it one more time.
Bad agents are causing a lot of this.
Agents that are not what?
Trained.
educated. They have no idea what's going on. What percentage of agents last year that belonged to NIR, I'm gonna use that because that's what they use it, did not sell one house last year?
80.
No, close,
90%.
74%. Now, think about everyone out there in NAR, there's how many millions of people in NAR? 74% of them didn't even sell one house. Do you think they know the market?
Yeah.
No, they have no clue. They're not going to team meetings. They're not finding stuff out, guys. So just realize that you are competing against somebody that's gonna tell us all what they want to hear so they can get the listing. And guys, that is hard. And I totally get that. Okay, guys. So anyway, guys, and I want you to look down here also at failed houses that did not sell.
Yeah.
27.9% last February, this February, 38.3. Where's the opportunity there for you guys? Huh?
Expireds.
Expires. Who in here knows where to find the expires? Hold your hands up high. Okay, are you calling expires? Call expires because they're dying, and I want you to be the second agent that gets it, and you get it priced right, and you sell it, guys. So as part of your plan, I will be calling expired because guys, they're out there with more and more expiring, which you will see a bit later. Okay, all right, let's move on. Thanks, Kim. All right, guys, this is just an interesting look. And I think you take a look at it. This is comparing 8 county areas in February of this year compared to February of last year. Okay, new listings are up 28%, which isn't much. Inventory is up again 42%. Under contract is down almost 9%. Sold is down almost a little more than 11%. Median price is up again, only 1.8%. Guys, that's good news. Median sale to list, original list price is down 1%. We're not getting it 100% anymore. And days in the market up 15 days. 15 days is significant, guys. I love this slide. Go to the next one because there's a couple more things on there. And then when price is correct, if correctly, medium outcome comes to 100%. Days in the market is 15. If you get the price wrong, how long is it going to be on the market? A whole lot long, 114 days, guys. Now, this is a slide I would keep, particularly for you, because you say, okay, if you get it right, we're gonna be on the market 15 days. If you don't get on the market, we're gonna be on the market for probably 114 days. And what happens to houses that are on the market 114 days? What happens to them? Do they sell for full price typically?
Yeah.
No, what happens to them? Mr. Seller, you're gonna have to reduce your house to get it there. It's gonna be able to make more payments, guys. So that's a great slide. I love that one, okay? And then expired withdrawal cancellation up 10.4%. Just realize that. Guys, this is a great slide. I love this slide. New one. Place of things, okay? All right, so guys, this is significant. For every 100 finalized listings in February, 62 of them sold, 38 of them failed. 31 had to have price reduction before it was sold. 50% of them. 38 plus 30 plus 31 equals 69 out of every 100 listings is what? Overpriced. And why is it overpriced? Because some of the agents priced them have no idea what's happening more. They're looking at what sold 6 months ago. Are they looking at what sold a year ago? Are they looking outside the neighborhood? They have no idea what they're doing. And but here's the good news. This is the green news. Okay, guys, 31, no price reduction was needed. And when it was priced correctly at 100%, days in market is 15, guys. So, but the one thing that you're not seeing here is you're not seeing sales with original list price was 105%. We seeing those anymore? Not nearly as much, guys. Just realize that we are doing not a great job pricing houses right now because the market keeps evolving. All right, guys. So when you look at this, what does it tell you about the market right now? Is an opportunity in the market right now? All right, tell me what the opportunity is. Somebody tell me. What opportunity do you see?
I think for move-up buyers or for downsizers, because, 3 years ago, if you wanted to buy a house, it was horrible. You were waiving your inspection, but now, you can buy, get some kind of deal. And then on your sale, if you have a good agent that's priced right, you can still reap the benefits of a good seller's market.
Okay, I love that. All right, I like that. Okay. How long, loan people have rates of over 7%? How many months would you guess?
Over seven.
Over 7,
They
maybe.
started in September of 20. Two. So they've been to that close to 7, yeah.
Yeah,
About 24 months.
Yeah, 24 months, got to watch it, okay. And and I've heard that the old time medium, sort of loan amount, not loan amount, but, average of the price is 10%, is that right?
Yeah, something.
It's 10%, that's just normally what we're now? Yeah. So guys, so the chances of in the next 6, maybe 12 to 18 months for rates going down, I think is pretty significant, but that's just me, you know, guys. So if you have a buyer right now, is this a good time for a buyer to buy right now?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yes,
Why? Why do you say that?
that's competition.
There's less competition. There's more listings right now. So should we be working with our people to find the buyer and say, guys, I know there's stuff going on with the tariffs and the stuff going on with the insurance too high. But if you want a house right now, this is the time to buy, because guys, let's assume that the drunk, I wake one morning and say, you know something, I'm gonna fix the economy, it's not gonna happen. And I'm gonna drop rates to 6%. What would it do to our market? Boom, it would blow it wide open. Now, all of a sudden, all those listings that are sitting on the market right now, all people will be bidding for, guys. So this is the chance, I think, right now, that if you're going to rev up your buyer business, this is the time to do it. Because once that market hits and the tariffs are gone away and whatever the signal is that make you get out from behind and start buying stuff, once that happens, you're gonna be too late and you're gonna be calling your buyers and, hey, it's a good time to buy. Sorry, I bought last week. I should call you. So guys, this is the time to start really counting on your database and saying, who do you know that I should know, whatever that to get out there. If you get ahead of this right now, you're going to do well. Now, if it don't happen in there a month, probably not, but it could happen sooner rather than later, okay? Yes, sir.
And I will say, just for the statistic of, the amount of homes failed versus sold out of 100, or I think it was 62 were sold and 38 failed. Ultimately, that's 38 times that they wish, to your point, that they had a hard conversation up front versus a hard conversation weeks and weeks and months down the road. Whereas if they just face the reality early on and your strategy coming in and telling facts, that would have been 38 different people that would have been much happier.
And guys, if the rate's higher now and they drop lower, can you refinance it? We know that, but guys, we tell that to our clients. All right, guys, I'll look quickly at how it compares with townhomes, and condo. By the way, what's the difference between a condo and a townhome? One level as opposed to 2 levels?
No,
No.
it's just the governing
What's,
body,
it's the what?
the governing body of the condo association.
And the owner, you actually don't own the dirt under it, the condo.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, this is condos and townhomes both. And guys, as you see, their listings are also up 18%. The active is up 62%. Pendings are down 15%. Closed are down almost 19%. Months of supply has gone from 2.9 to 5.8. Median price is up by 2.2%, which isn't a whole lot. And so guys, this pretty well mirror what's going on in the detached market? Does it pretty well mirror that? Are y'all finding condominiums are harder to sell right now than they were a year ago?
So I know people are staying away from condos town hall, typically like, hey, this is a great price, but if you look at the HOA, it's gone up like 30%, so. They just got, and you know, that kind of trickle from what happened in Florida, people having the inability to be warrantable, some of them can't, unless you're paying cash. I think it's an issue right now, at least what I'm seeing.
What do y'all think? You agree with that?
I agree.
And because we are seeing the association, my wife and I owned a rental condo in Sandusky, Florida, which we love. We're there for 12 years. The association dues tripled in 12 years, triple. So when I saw that, I thought, God, ours is one of the least expensive in the whole place. It'll be a sell like this. It took it 6 months to sell because most people in that price point, I think it was $280,000, couldn't afford the association dues. And guys, we're going to hear more and more about that. And you're not going to afford it. That's too much money to me. I mean, some of my friends pay a lot more in association dues than they do in the monthly payment. So guys, But I think the condominium market has settled down. It's still a pretty good buy. You can see that with me. Number failed, you know, is not terrible. So guys, the condominium market is very similar to the detached market. We have another one. Same thing here, guys. This tells a great story. Days of market up 18 days. Go to the next slide, please. And okay, now, and same thing here, guys. Out of 100 listings, 54 sold, 46 failed, so a little bit higher, lower sold rate and higher failed rate. Price reductions was 27 price reduction to be taken. So the 27 that were priced, no price reduced. They sold at 99.5%. Days market of 22. Overpriced was 73 out of every 100, guys. So price of condominium right now is also a tough thing to do. All right. Same thing here, guys. What's happening in the market is that the closings, as you can see, are down. In townhouses, closings are down in condos. The stress sales, negligible. Failed sales are about the same as they were before. Original median original list price is from $424,900 to $425,000, and so that's almost nothing. Median sales price has gone down in condominiums, which is interesting. So and same thing with condos, guys. So would you advise your client to buy a condo? It meets their needs, they can't find what they want in a house like that? Is that a dumb question?
No, no, it's not. If you really want to advise, I mean, like, how long do you think you're gonna be there? Like, there was a client that really wanted to be in the Walton School District, and the only thing they could afford was a condo, and it was, you know, it was a stretch with the homeowners, the condo, the master insurance policy was jacked up, the whole thing, but the guy's children were like 12. Okay, that means you're gonna be there 6, 7 more years. You're probably gonna be okay. That would be my fault.
Do 5 or 6 years fix most of the problems with our market right now?
They at least present different problems.
Say it again.
They at least present different problems.
Anybody say prices are going to crash anytime soon?
No.
Why do you think? Why do you think prices are not going to crash? What do you think, Brenda? Or do you think that?
No. Cause they seem to be holding pretty steady and have, you know, look at the last trends, and I've only been in this 2 years, but I'm old enough to know, you know, what things have done through the years. And-
People have equity.
Yeah.
They get in a bind, they can sell and not be killed, as opposed to 2008, when you had 125% funds given to people who weren't qualified for 20 cents, let alone a house loan.
Remind you again, when I started real estate 22 years ago, there was $1 million house for selling on Metro on Battle Road. One, probably a $10 million house. Now it's sold for 1.1 million, something like that house. There was one house for sale. How many $1 million houses are for sale now? $100 million. Like, you know, when you're a loser. So God's not making any more property. So that I think if you buy and you hold it for 3 or 5 years, right? Yes, sir.
Another thing to think about is that our homeowners now are better qualified and more qualified, more intelligent, and if you think about like how hard it is to buy a home, these people are, I think, more informed and just better qualified. To think that they're just gonna let the house go to foreclosure is just gonna be really hard.
Yeah. I love it. That's the market right now is a little funky. And what surprises me is that some agents cannot sell a house right now. They cannot. 74% cannot sell a house right now. I got agents that are having their best year ever. They're killing it right now because they're focusing on building their business right now, guys. So that there is a chance for some buyers right now to get a pretty good deal on a house with concessions from the seller and prices going down a little bit right now. So that this is a great window for that. I don't have to look for deals right now because they're out there. Anything we can talk about this morning, Kimberly? Any other slides that I missed? All right, guys, thank you for coming
And
in.
when's the time of the meeting?
Next week,
Okay.
we're gonna go to 10:13, and so next week we're gonna do that, okay? All right, so guys, I'm gonna have a drawing right now. So everybody either write your name down on a piece of paper, and agents only, and I'm gonna pick someone here who's gonna get a 3 months of their office bill. So just write your name down, put me, let me have it, and I'm gonna let him do it. Give me this, you want to do it? We're gonna pick one, you got each up this morning, and you're going to come this morning, and have me, we're gonna pick someone to have a free office bill. Melissa's not gonna like it, that's fine. Actually, whoever wins gets to take a free office bill, $100 in cash. See? You can pick, all right? Oh, I'm sorry.
The business part is okay, right?
Business part, oh, yeah, all right, budget. Perfect, I like that. Well, everybody's.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a mom we prepare, right? This is what moms do. I know you do that. That's what you I did not see Melissa, and either let her pay your bill for 1 month or $100. Okay, how old's your daughter?
These two, and I have a 4-month-old.
Thank you for being out today. We finished almost at 10:30, but not quite. Our goal is to be out here within an hour, and we're working on that every single day to try to get it back. I really want to be out here an hour on a community gym after 1 hour and get out here. Next week we start at what time?
10:13.
10:13, and Blaine started and did ATL. Huh? We all?
Because there was something about mental health.
That's the mental health, involuntary criminal. Appropriate.
That's the temperature, guys. Anyway, thank you for coming this morning, guys. Enjoy your day. All right, yes, I'm sorry you're not walking the book. I was just kidding.
Another thing that I meant to say also is like, I've been in this, there's no